So the word morals um, is morals help you know the difference between right and wrong. So if you have morals, the morals are the beliefs that you have about what's right and what's wrong. Okay. So, for example, it's in my morals. Like I believe, and your morals help you make good decisions or bad decisions. Okay. So that's why thumbs up or thumbs down. So your morals are your beliefs about what's right or wrong. And so if you have what's generally believed is if you have good morals, you believe in things like being a good friend, helping others, taking turns, being polite, being kind, being truthful, being peaceful and nonviolent. Okay. So in chapter 6, you're going to hear Templeton being described as having no morals. And that means that Templeton doesn't he doesn't care about what's right or wrong. He just does whatever he wants. And Darwin, you're asking what does it mean to believe? So your beliefs are like what you think. Okay? What your opinion is. So what you think. Do you think something is right or do you think something is wrong? And if you have good morals, you believe in things like truthfulness, peacefulness, love, nonviolence, politeness, taking turns, helping others, being kind. So I would say that a good picture to draw might be something like this, that morals help you know the difference between right or wrong. And if someone has no morals, it means that they just do whatever they want. They don't care about what's right or wrong. They just do what they want. Okay. So again, it's helpful if you give that thumbs up at the bottom just to show me that you're done. Or thanks, Brooklyn. Aaliyah, you're done? Thank you. Yeah, so if you give a thumbs up or a thumbs down or draw something like this, that's a good picture. Okay. Now, does anyone think they know how to pronounce the next word? This next word, it's a hard, the U sounds like ooh. So it's what do you think? It's not scruples. The U is pronounced like ooh. What do you think, Vicente?
Scrupulous.
Not quite, kiddo, but good try. The word is scruples. Okay. Now, your scruples, like, have you ever had, this isn't a word that's heard very often. The word morals, you'll hear that this is a very common word. But scruples has a lot to do with your morals. So when I think of scruples, I might kind of think about, like, if you have you ever heard the picture of like the little angels? Like you have a little good angel and then you have a little bad guy, a little good guy on one shoulder and a little bad guy on the other shoulder. And the good guy is telling you to do something good and the bad guy is telling you to do something bad. So if you make a bad decision, or this will be another good one. Have you ever made kind of a bad decision and then you felt like, ooh, I don't think I should have done that. Like, ooh, maybe not the best choice I've ever made. That's your scruples, okay? So the scruples is the doubt. And if you have doubt, you have questions, right? So if you make a poor decision and then you have doubt and you think like, ooh, I don't think, should I be doing this? Should I not be doing this? I don't think that this is maybe a good decision. Kind of the question marks that come with making a poor decision. Those are your scruples. And yes, Darwin, having scruples helps you stop yourself from making poor decisions. Or if you make a poor decision, having scruples, having those question marks, help you not do it again or help you make up for it. So you want to have scruples. Like if some people who don't have scruples, they make poor decisions and they just don't care. They don't have any, they make a poor decision. They're like, whatever, I don't care. And so again, Templeton is being described in chapter 6 as an animal with no scruples. If he makes a bad decision, he just doesn't care. He has no morals. He doesn't care about what's right or wrong. He just cares about himself. Now, does anyone think they know how to pronounce the next word? See and E together makes, Georgette, what do you think?
Destiny?
Not quite. The word is decency. Can you, Penelope, you thought that? Yeah, so decency is how you pronounce the next word. And decency is something that you want to have. So if someone has decency, it's polite behavior. Yep, it's like basically being respectful. If you have decency, if you are a decent person, you are a respectful person. You have morals, you have scruples. If you have a sense of decency, you have a sense of wanting to show polite behavior that shows respect for others. Like, for example, having decency means to have good manners, or to hold the door open for people, or to give to people in need. Or maybe if you've ever been on BART or on the bus, you'll see that like if someone is handicapped, if someone has physical disabilities, that they should be getting the chair and you should get up for them and let them have the chair. That would be having decency. Yes, Vicente. Did you have your hand raised?
No.
Oh, okay. So again, Templeton is being described as a rat with no decency. He has no manners. He does not show polite behavior that shows respect for others. Templeton is a very selfish, greedy rat. So do you all want to have a sense of decency? Yes. Do you all want to have scruples? Yes. Do you all want to have good morals? Yes. Yes, Saul.
Is what's his name?
Templeton.
Templeton like Roscoe?
Templeton is kind of like a Roscoe. Mm-hmm. Templeton would be like the rats that live in the dungeon in Despereaux. Mm-hmm. Good connection. All right. So the next vocabulary word, some of you might know this word. This is a word. What do you think? How would you pronounce the next word? What do you think? Penny?
Ancient.
Ancient. You can give a connection signal if you knew that or if you've heard the word ancient. And what does it mean for something to be ancient? Oh, good, Darwin. Yeah, what does it mean?
Old.
Old, but not just a little old, very old. So if someone or something is ancient, it means it's very old. So for example, these are the pyramids in Egypt, okay? These were built before Jesus. So these were built thousands and thousands and thousands of years ago. This woman would be, maybe it wouldn't quite be the most polite or decent thing to do, but she could be described as ancient. This is an ancient Greek sculpture or Roman or something, I'm not sure. But this would have been built thousands of years ago. And these are old statues. I believe these are in Easter Island. And these are, again, thousands and thousands of years old. And maybe this is a human skull from maybe the first humans. Okay, so it's very old. Yes, Saul.
I think the people who built pyramids, I think someone told me that aliens helped them.
That would not be true. All right. Now, does anyone think they know how to pronounce the next word? What do you think, Cherish?
Consideration.
Consideration. Yep. So words like decency, morals, scruples, consideration, they all go together. Yeah, so if you consider something, you think about it. Kind of like the word reconsider. Yeah, if you show consideration, Jax, you show a sense of kindness to somebody. You think about somebody. Yeah. So if you show consideration for someone, you show careful thought. And have you ever heard someone being described as considerate? Or maybe someone being described as inconsiderate? No. So if you are showing consideration, you are showing very careful thought. And Winnie the Pooh says here, he says, a little consideration, a little thought for others makes all the difference. So if you're showing consideration, you would show good manners. You would be a good friend. You would be kind. You'd raise your hand. You'd say please and thank you. You'd take turns. Your parents might, like if you ask them something and they say, okay, I need to consider it. I need to think about it. All right. So that word consider means like to think about. Okay. So is this little boy showing consideration? Is he showing careful thought to the woman in front of him?
No.
No. That woman or this little boy and this woman, they're not showing consideration. Okay. They're not showing careful thought. So like another example would be of inconsiderate, of being not considerate. Would be like I went to Trader Joe's the other day, and you know when you go to the grocery store now, there's lines, and you're supposed to stand on your line so that you give space to people in front of you and behind you. And these people were not showing consideration. They were kind of crowding the older woman in front of them. And that's not showing consideration. So if you're showing consideration, you're showing careful thought to other people. But another example of consideration would be, like I went to Mrs. Gotts's house to drop off something. We kept our distance, but I dropped off things for reading, and she showed me consideration by leaving flowers on the porch for me to pick up. And that was showing very nice consideration. Yep. All right. Does anyone think they know how, this next word I'm sure you haven't heard before. But does anyone think they know how to pronounce it? No. The next word is untenable. Untenable. Okay. Not unstable. Untenable. Okay. Untenable. And so if something is untenable, you're going to hear once Templeton takes, you're going to have to read to find out what happens. But not tilted. It's if something's untenable, it's not able to be lived in. So if something's untenable, you're not able to live in it. Like, for example, would you want to live in a place that looks like this? Does this look livable? No, not at all. It's in the snow. There's no mattresses. So this place is untenable. So same with this picture. A tent in the snow, that's untenable. You would not want to live in that. Okay. Now, unfortunately, there's been times when people have had to live in untenable conditions, like maybe in times of war or when people are very, very, very poor. They might have to live in conditions that would be untenable, unlivable. Like here, the people are unfortunately being crowded together in a place that really shouldn't be lived in. Are your houses untenable? No, your houses are tenable. You're able to live in them. Yes, Saul.
In San Francisco, there's like thousands of poors.
Of people who are poor.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they
The
might
house
live.
that lives in my neighborhood, it like always every Halloween it has like big stuff. But those people are losing their houses, their house.
Yeah, so a lot of times you might see people living who are homeless, living in conditions that are untenable, that you really would not want to be lived in. You really would not want to live. Now we just have one more word. And does anyone think they know how to pronounce this next word? What do you think, Scarlett?
It can be lair or a liar.
Lair. So the word is lair. Jax, that's off topic. Please don't do that, okay? So lair is like where animals might live. So a lair would be a hidden resting place. So this might be like a bear's lair. Yeah, like a small home, but it's hidden. So you see that in all these places. This is like a cave here. Okay. So a lair would be a place that's hidden where bears might go to hibernate. Yeah. Or Templeton lives in a lair in the barn. He lives in a hidden resting place in the barn. Okay. So lair is a hidden resting place. All right. Now, yes, Vicente.
That's kind of like how I'm gonna do my pool.
That's going to be kind of like how
And
you're.
I see videos, and when I go to my grandma's house, I sometimes watch videos of people making underground things and making it like a secret underground thing.
Nice. Yeah, and like an underground lair. Yeah, you hear an underground lair. Yes, Michaela, you had your hand raised, sweetie?
Yeah. In my neighborhood, one of the house got down.
So it's untenable. You cannot live in that house anymore. Okay. Now, this last word you don't need to write down, but the early summer days in the barn are, okay, Darwin, that's getting a little off topic. The early summer days in the barn, so again, chapter 6 is called Summer Days. The early summer days in the barn are described as a jubilee, okay? Nice, Georgia, if you're gonna go and read chapter 6. So it's the early summer days on the barn are described as a jubilee time for birds, a time of celebration, okay? So just so you know, you're going to hear the word jubilee, and that's like a word of celebration. Yeah. Okay. All right, kiddos. So I know some of you might want to go and read chapter 6 now before we have math at 11. So if you want to stay and have a book read aloud to you, that's fine. but if you want to head on out, that's fine too. Yeah, so I'll see you later. You can head on out if you want to go. But remember, you have to read chapter 6 today. Bye, Cherish. But if you wanted to stay for a book, that's fine. You're more than welcome to.
Love my doggy ice cream. Love
I know that's silly, but we're gonna read a different book today.
Legos.
And
Search Legos.
this one looks kind of silly. It teaches you about your teeth.
No.
We watched Maleficent.
Good night, Gorilla.
Good Night, Gorilla.
Yeah, I like that book.
Yeah, I like that book too. That's a famous book.
Can we read the Fox book?
What fox book?
Can we read the Fox book?
What Fox book, Sweetie Pie?
It's right there with the butterflies and stuff. And it's white.
I'm not sure.
Easter uniform.
Right there.
Pretty Squirrel makes a friend.
I
The
know. We'll
spirit
try to
one.
do a new book.
The spirit one.
King Kong.
Miss Walsh,
What's up, kiddos?
can we search Legos? Lego books?
The one with the fox that has his head like.
How about
A heart.
Narwhal?
No.
Legos.
Legos or Stick and Stone looks interesting. This one's gotten a good. Let's read a new book. This one's gotten. This is a Caldecott winner, which means it's gotten an award for being an exceptionally good children's book. Okay. So I vote we try that one just because it's gotten an award for being a really good children's book. So let's try this one. And again, it's always good to just try something new.
A sick day for Amos McGee. Amos McGee was an early riser. Every morning, the alarm clock clanged. He swung his legs out of bed and swapped his pajamas for a fresh pressed uniform. He would wind his watch and set a pot of water to boil, saying to the sugar bowl, "A spoonful for my oatmeal, please, and 2 for my teacup." Belly full and ready for the workday, he'd amble out the door. Every day, Amos waited for the number 5 bus. Next up, citizen.
Yeah, Darwin, go
The
ahead.
bus driver would call. 6 a.m., right on time, he'd reply. Amos had a lot to do at the zoo, but he always made time to visit his good friends. He would play chess with the elephant, who thought and thought before making a move.
I'd love to play chess with an elephant.
run races with the tortoise, who never ever lost. Sit quietly with the penguin, who was very shy. Lend a handkerchief to the rhinoceros, who always had a runny nose.
Oh,
And
thanks,
at
Georgette.
sunset,